All right, so here's day 12 of going through some of my journal entries. So the quote for this day was, I attribute my success to this. I never gave or took any excuse. And the prompt is, what excuse or excuses are you making that is hindering your progress or dreams? Write at least 3 excuses that you will eliminate from your life. Now, I don't know if there's supposed to be a comma there, but no, that's how it was written. So yeah, if you're following along, go ahead and pause the video and take a few minutes to write your response, and I'll be back here in a second with what I responded to this. All right, so day 12. So let's hear what I thought were my excuses back a few months ago. I think one of my biggest excuses I make is that I'm too busy or don't have time. I do have a lot of things to do, but it's not really that I don't have time for them. It's that I don't focus on the things like work or school that really need to be done first. By not getting those done, I feel like I don't have time for other non-mundane projects. Another excuse I've been making is telling myself that I'm not that type of person. Okay, so I have this in quotes. So another excuse I've been telling myself is that I'm not that type of person, to excuse myself from being more social. There are people I look up to and would love to be more like them, but I don't feel like I have the social skills to accomplish some of the things that they have. But maybe instead of just brushing myself off as too shy or too awkward, maybe I should work on it. I don't know. Other than that, I don't think I really make many excuses. Sometimes I'll put off starting certain things because I don't think I'm ready. Like I feel like I need to be over prepared before I start, but I'm not sure that that's an excuse or even really a bad thing. So, I think that's still accurate. uh, I feel like I'm getting better at I'm getting better at managing my time, which is helping with that. I do feel like I have more time for things, and whenever I do make time for things, I'm not feeling as stressed about work or school in the background because I am getting caught up. I know, and probably like when I wrote this, I don't feel like I'm as antisocial as I have like during times in the past, because there were some, and it still comes around on occasion, but I do find myself and I don't know if it goes along with my like menstrual cycle, but there are certain times that I feel more outgoing and more like I want to talk to people. And I also notice like at that time, like emails at work are way easier for me to write and respond to people, respond to text messages that I haven't responded to in a while. There are times that I feel less like antisocial or more social. And then there's other times that I feel very, very antisocial. Like, I don't know if I've mentioned it on here, but there are certain times that like I would be like super active on Instagram. I'd be posting stories every day and posting pictures of my food and, you know, all kinds of stuff. And then it's almost like right after that, I would just want to go the exact opposite direction. I would be like, I feel insecure about people seeing so much about my life and possibly like judging me, and I just want to disappear from like the world. I want to like take off every, you know, post I've ever made, delete all my social media pages, and just like disappear. But I haven't felt like that way so much in a while. Who knows, maybe I'll feel that way with this. Maybe I'll post all these videos and then like at some point like be like, oh my gosh, why did I put so much of myself out there? I want to delete all of it. But yeah, and I would go through times that I'm just like, well, I'm just not that type of person, so I don't need to go to this or I don't need to go to that. And I can just cancel and just stay isolated or whatever. But I don't know. Like, why do I feel myself pushed to be more isolated? And it seems like a lot of people are that way. Like, in the past, you had to be social, you had to make social relationships to survive, but now you don't have to. You can just be alone in your house and you have entertainment, you have access to food, you can work from home now, so you don't have to actually be social with people. And it seems like a lot of people are more comfortable with that than being social. There are other people that enjoy being social and thrive off of, being around other people. Um, but I've known for a long time that I'm not that type of person. Even though I think I'm just bored with. So, like, I've always been shy, I've always been quiet, but I used to like to be more social, like going out and doing things. Even if I wasn't talking a lot in social groups, I felt like it was still entertaining for me to be around other people, to hear what other people are saying, to watch them interact, to just be out and be seen. Um, but the last several years, and really something happened when I was in Europe, and I don't even know how to explain what happened, but I studied in Europe like 10 years ago, and the beginning part of the trip, like that was just a crazy year altogether because I did so much traveling. And yeah, but the first part, like the beginning part, the first few months of my traveling, I did like a study abroad in Mozambique, and then I did like a study abroad case study in Slovakia, and then we had like a month in between the case study and when we were starting classes for the semester in Belgium. And so me and one of my friends, we just kind of like backpacked around Europe, visited like several different countries, and that was all fun. Like being social was fine. I was literally couch surfing with strangers and just meeting all kinds of people and just going out and, doing all kinds of stuff. And at some point, like after a couple months into being in Belgium, I just completely isolated. I was very stressed and had a lot of anxiety and just like completely isolated myself. I would get out to go to class, but then like the way the classes in Belgium work is like they end and then you have like a whole month to just study for your exams. And so like that whole month I just locked myself in and just I don't know. I don't know what happened. Like there was just a big switch to where I was like, I don't enjoy being social. I don't enjoy going out. There was nothing, like nobody did anything specifically to me. There was like I don't really know. And then it's just like hasn't really come back after that too much. There's been a couple times after that I was feeling like I isolated myself when I came back. Like I had a trailer on this property that I was living in alone with my cat, and I just isolated myself in there, even though my grandparents were next door. I didn't really come to see them that much. And my mom lived like half a mile away. I didn't really see her that much. But then I got these like feelings of like wanting to be social. And so I got on couch surfing and like I let strangers stay with me. But it was like every time I just kind of regretted it. Like, not because like they were bad people or like I didn't like the people. It was that I felt very insecure about my social ability, and I didn't feel like they were having a good time. And or like I don't know, I was feeling really insecure about myself and didn't want to be around other people. But then I felt like I wanted to be around other people, so that's why I was inviting people to couch surf. If that is just a weird, like, I don't know, there was like a weird couple of years. And yeah, I ended up meeting this guy from Little Rock through couch surfing, and he was like, seemed like the total opposite of me, but we still had common interests. Like, he was very extroverted, liked to be around people, and he had like gotten out of a relationship, and he had like the corporate job, but he was just wanting to get out and travel and just explore the world. And I was like, oh well, that sounds like kind of where I'm at, or where I had been at. And he was just trying to visit, like do short weekend trips, where he could drive to on the weekends. And so I had invited him to come stay with me, and we actually ended up dating after that, because I was going to be doing an internship where he lived, and he was like, well, if you need, I've got an extra room if you need a place to stay. And so it just ended up working out. We ended up dating, and the whole point of this was that I was in isolation mode, and I think I felt like getting with someone who was as outgoing and extroverted as him would be what I needed to get me like into doing those sorts of things. And he was still doing the types of things that I used to like to do, go out, explore, couch surf, like meet people and do all this stuff. But I thought I was still interested in that, but it's like we were just at two different places. And yeah, his personality was just like so different from mine. And but yeah, it was kind of like in that relationship that I realized, like, I'm not interested in all this. I'm not interested in going out and partying and going to festivals and all of this stuff like I would have been 5 or 10 years before. And like I said, I wasn't extroverted. I didn't make a lot of friends doing those things, but I was engaged. Like, I was taking everything in. But I feel like maybe I just saw so much over a 10-year period from between working at Disney and traveling and doing all that, that it was kind of like that stuff didn't excite me anymore, and so I wasn't enjoying it. I don't know. Anyway, this is kind of a long one, but yeah, I'm trying to get over my excuses for not having time to do things. At some point, I would like to get over this like social anxiety, and just, not that I want to have like a million friends or anything, but I would like to be able to converse normally with people. Like, in public, it seems like if I'm not prepared for a conversation, then I don't know what to say. I feel like I never say the right thing when someone speaks to me, and then I'm just like, they probably think, like, there's this man that comes up and talks to me in the gym sometimes, and I don't want him to talk to me. Like, I don't think I'm not sure if he's a creepy guy or not. I don't think he is. I think he's just an older man who's just friendly, because I see him talking to a lot of people, but I never know what to say when he's trying to just make like conversation with me. And I don't know, or just anybody in general, but he's really been the only one that's tried to make conversation with me in recent days. So, yeah, that is something I would like to work on. I would like to get better at like talking to people and knowing what to say, but I'm going to use my excuse. I'll work on that whenever I'm finished with work and school. So anyway, I will be back tomorrow with day 13.